This video will describe how to build input structures for structural adjustment rules. So let's double click here, and again we have to choose a syntactic category. This time we'll choose verbs. And let's give this a name, XYZ. And to build the input structure, we can click on these buttons and then click on the input structure, and that will insert the opening noun phrase boundary and a closing noun phrase boundary. If we want an embedded noun phrase, then we can click inside there. Now we have an embedded noun phrase. We can click on the verb phrase, an adjective phrase, put it inside the verb phrase. We can put these anywhere we want. And we can do that. Then we can set the features on them. Suppose we want that one to be the agent and this one to be a Norman genitive or something. We can do that, but that takes time. A much faster way is to use the input editor. So let's start over, and this time I'll use the input editor. We'll again choose verbs. Suppose we want a noun phrase with a noun, and another noun phrase with a noun, a verb phrase with a verb. If we want to include a relative clause, then we can put square brackets in there. The abbreviations are all here. N for noun, V for verb, ADJ for adjective, etc. For phrases, you use these abbreviations. Here are some examples down here. For subordinate clauses, you just put in square brackets, and it builds it for you. And then you can supply the features. Let's say this one is the agent. This one is the patient. This one's the verb phrase. Let's delete this for this example. Now in the input semantic representations, we follow English constituent order. So we have agent, if we initialize. We have agent noun phrase, the verb phrase, the patient noun phrase. Here, when you're building the input structure in a structural adjustment rule, constituent order is never important. You can put these constituents in any order that you want, and TBTA will find them. So we've put, let's actually change this. Let's make the patient first. We'll make the agent second, and then the verb phrase. And in the output, let's say the patient becomes an addressee, just for example. So this order is very different than the order up here, but that's okay. You never need to be concerned about constituent order when building the input structure of a structural adjustment rule. So let's save this rule. We give it a name, XYZ. And then we'll click Generate. And we see now, okay, the patient is also an addressee. The grammatical relation equals addressee. And if we look here, features change from grammatical relation equals object to addressee by that rule XYZ that we just wrote. And then it was positioned by the clause phrase structure rules. So the point of this is you can put these constituents in any order that you want. You can make the embedding as deep as you would like. It's faster to use the input editor. It's only available if we go back to the input structure. Okay, it warns us if you go back and edit the input structure, your modifications to the output structure will have to be re-entered. Do you want to edit the input structure? If we say yes, the input editor becomes available again, and we can build our input structure that way.